It all starts on the playground. A little girl is playing, a boy comes up and insults her, and she goes crying to her mom. But instead of telling her the truth, the mom says, "He only did that because he likes you." And boom, just like that. Every girl in the world is programmed to think that if a guy acts like a total jerk, it means he's madly in love with her. We spend our whole lives inventing wild excuses to defend men who just aren't that into us. Today, we look at a movie that exposes all of the delusional rules of dating. That little girl grows up to be Gigi, the ultimate dating obsessive. Gigi goes on a blind date with a guy named Conor. She has a blast and thinks it went amazing, completely blind to the fact that Conor is totally checked out. Gigi thinks he's going to text her the second she gets home, but days pass and nothing. Gigi vents to her friend Janine. Now, as any typical girlfriend does, Janine tries to feed her hope instead of reality. She tells Gigi, "Don't worry, on my first date with my husband, he didn't call me for 11 days, and now he's the best husband ever." But Gigi's obsession grows. Another coworker interrupts them and drops some modern advice. There are no rules anymore. Just call him if he's too afraid to get off his ass. So Gigi calls Conor, he doesn't answer. Out of pure frustration, she leaves a brutally long, rambling voicemail. Still, no callback. Desperate, Gigi goes to the bar where Conor usually hangs out, hoping to accidentally run into him. Instead of Conor, she meets Alex, the bartender who happens to be Conor's friend and a total playboy. Alex asks her if she wants a drink. Gigi confidently lies and says she's just there for a date with Conor. Confused, Alex asks a few questions to connect the dots, realizes what's happening, and breaks the news Conor isn't coming tonight. But then Alex offers to help and reaches for his phone to call Conor and remind him. Seeing this, Gigi completely panics. To stop him from making the call, she frantically lies and claims she must have mixed up the details. She pulls out a pen and insists she only stopped by to return it to him. Alex sees right through the act, grabs the pen, and says, "I'll give it to him," caught red-handed. Gigi finally confesses the truth. She just wanted to run into him. Alex feels bad for her, buys her a drink, and delivers the ultimate reality check, telling her if a guy doesn't call you, he doesn't want to call you. However, she makes up excuses. Maybe he's out of town, maybe his grandma died, maybe he lost my number. But Alex interrupts her. Maybe he's just not that into you. If a guy doesn't call you, he doesn't want to call you. Gigi immediately fights back with another exception story, claiming her friend married a guy who ghosted her for a whole year. Alex shuts it down completely, saying she is the exception, but clearly you are not. He continues mentioning the ultimate dating rules. If a guy treats you like he doesn't give a shit, it means he doesn't give a shit. And the last one is, you girls always try to convince yourselves that you are the exceptional stories, when you are actually just the rule. While Gigi is getting lectured, Conor is busy obsessing over another girl named Anna. He calls her to ask her out, but she blows him off. Anna is a beautiful yoga instructor, and she's got her eyes on someone else. Earlier at the supermarket, a handsome stranger named Ben let Anna cut ahead of him in line, and they chatted and exchanged numbers too. There's instant sparks. They flirt, they connect, but suddenly, Ben drops the bomb. "I'm married." Anna tries to hide her disappointment and leaves. The next day, she tells her friend it was a magical night of flirting. Can't stop thinking about him even though he's married. Her friend immediately feeds the delusion with a classic romantic story that she knew a man who met a girl, felt something he'd never felt in his life, divorced his wife, married the love of his life, and lived happily ever after. Inspired by this soulmate story, Anna rushes to call Ben, but Ben blows her off. Feeling down, Anna goes running to Conor, who is always there for her. A few days later, Ben calls Anna back under the excuse of helping her with her music career. Soon, they are flirting heavily in his office, and Ben even shows up to her yoga class. Meanwhile, Ben's wife Janine finds a cigarette hidden in the back store. Ben acts upset and lies, blaming the houseworkers. But Ben is hiding a lot more than a smoking habit. He is actively cheating on Janine with Anna. Poor Janine wants to confront him about the cigarette, but instead, he told her he is cheating. Shockingly, she stays completely calm and says they will figure it out. Later, she tells a friend it's all her fault, that she rushed him into marriage, became a boring control freak, and that they haven't had sex in a long time. While Janine is blaming herself, Ben is literally in his office making out with Anna. Suddenly, Janine knocks on the door. Ben panics, hides Anna, and opens the door. Janine passionately kisses Ben, apologizes for everything, and they both agree to work on their marriage. marriage. Anna hears everything and is completely shocked. The moment Janine leaves, Anna storms out, telling Ben it's officially over. But karma comes fast. When Janine gets home, she finds cigarette pack in Ben's pocket. That's the breaking point. She can't handle the lies anymore. She throws his belongings outside. As for Anna, she tries dating Conor again. But the moment Conor asks her to move in with him, she breaks up with him because she just can't see a future together. Now let's look at Ben's good friend, Neil. Neil has been in a loving relationship with his girlfriend, Beth, for almost a decade. They love each other deeply, but they aren't married because Neil firmly refuses to believe in marriage. He thinks it's just an insecure contract for people who don't trust each other. Beth has been quietly sad about this, but things get worse when she finds out her younger sister is getting married. Beth realizes she isn't the exception after her coworker Gigi told her the ultimate dating rule. She goes home and confronts him. She demands to know if he will ever marry her. Neil stays completely silent. Heartbroken, Beth says it's over and leaves him. Beth goes to her sister's wedding alone, where her family constantly tries to set her up, and some even mock her because her younger sister got married first. The only person truly on her side is her father, but tragedy strikes when her father gets sick. This is when Beth sees her new brother-in-law proves to be completely useless, lazy, demanding comfort, and letting his friends make a total mess of the house. But guess who shows up out of nowhere? Neil. Without saying a word, Neil starts cleaning up the mess and doing everything he can to support Beth. Beth is amazed. She realizes how gentle and genuinely husband-like Neil is, even after a breakup. The next day, Beth goes to visit Neil on his boat where he's living to thank him. Neil reassures her that he will do absolutely anything for her, except give her a ring. Beth interrupts him and confesses that she misses her life with him and realizes he was more of a husband to her than any married man. Later, while she is organizing his clothes, she reaches into a pocket and finds a ring box. Neil drops down on one knee, looks at her, and asks her to marry him, telling her he loves her so much that he just wants to make her happy. Meanwhile, Gigi is still out there trying to date. She meets a guy at a bar. Things go great, and they exchange numbers. Remembering Alex's rules, she decides to just rip his contact card to pieces. But desperation wins. Gigi literally tapes the ripped pieces back together. Before calling the guy, though, she calls Alex to ask for advice. Alex firmly repeats the rule. If a guy gives you his number, he's not into you. If he liked you, he would have taken yours. Gigi corrects him, saying he took hers first, but Alex insists that if the guy truly liked her, he'd be the one calling. From that point on, Gigi calls Alex during every single date she goes on. One night, she's actively making out with a date, but the guy mentions he will be out of reach for work-related matters starting tomorrow. Gigi instantly jumps up, runs to the bathroom, and calls Alex. At that exact moment, Alex is actually making out with another girl, but he stops everything to answer Gigi's call. After hearing the story, Alex tells her to leave immediately because the guy only wants her for sex. Gigi feels miserable, thinking that she'll never find anyone. Feeling bad, Alex promises to set her up with a really good guy he knows from the bar. Gigi happily accepts and dumps her date. The next day, Gigi is waiting at a restaurant for her blind date. Instead, Alex shows up and tells her the guy couldn't make it, so he came to comfort her. Alex starts lecturing the idea of romance for Gigi, saying there's no such thing as a spark. A spark is just an invention. When a man treats a girl like he doesn't want her, the anxiety, fear, and constant guessing makes her think it's a spark. Women just love the drama. He tells her to keep it simple. If a guy likes you, great. If not, there are plenty of fish in the sea. Move on. Amazed by his insight, Gigi asks why he's helping her so much. Alex responds, because I like you. Gigi gasps. But Alex quickly clarifies, not in the way you think. A few days later, Alex invites Gigi to a party he's hosting at his apartment. Gigi starts putting all the pieces together in her head. She tells her friend, he answers my calls even when he's with other women. He showed up on my blind date pretending the guy canceled just to comfort me. He must be into me. At the party, Gigi acts like the co-host, serving drinks and cleaning up. When the guests finally leave, Gigi walks up to Alex and kisses him passionately. Alex is completely shocked. He pushes her off and gets angry, yelling that he doesn't want this. He's pissed off that he taught her all the rules, yet she still didn't listen. He tells her, if a guy wants to ask you out, he will. Why would I go around the bush? Gigi gets equally annoyed and pours her heart out in a powerful speech, saying that she may overanalyze things and make a fool of herself, but at least she is putting herself out there. However, he thinks that he wants fun because no one can hurt him, but he will be lonely at the end. A few days pass. The actual guy Alex wanted to set Gigi up with shows up at her door and takes her out on a date. They end up having a good time. Meanwhile, Alex realizes his life is empty without her. He misses her calls. He misses her presence. He realizes he broke his own rules and fell in love. Alex rushes over to Gigi's apartment to apologize and win her back. But when Gigi sees him, she tells him, "I'm the rule, remember? Not the exception. I'd rather stay with my date to avoid all the drama." However, Alex kisses her, saying, "You are my exception." And just like that, the guy who wrote the rulebook gets completely schooled by love. In a quick wrap-up of the other storylines, we see that Anna's friend Mary, who was constantly pissed off by online dating and getting tricked by guys, ends up meeting Conor at a cafe, and they hit it off instantly. Anna learns to be happy and independent on her own. Beth and Neil get their happy marriage, and Gigi finally gets her true love, where Janine learned that self-blame doesn't excuse betrayal and chose to heal on her own, while Ben finally faced his own flaws and started doing the work to change. The moral of the story? Yes, 99% of the time, if a guy acts like he doesn't care, he doesn't care. You are the rule. But don't let the rules stop you from looking for the one person who will make you the exception. What do you think? Was Alex's advice brutal truth or just cynical? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. See you in the next recap.